In the last few years, the world has been changing in an unusually rapid pace. We consume an enormous amount of information, and with all the screen time and lack of socializing, we're starved for human connection. In a way, we don't relate to each other as much anymore. So this winter, I was scheduled to travel to Alaska, the final frontier. And that world, that overwhelming, noisy world that I'm so used to, got suddenly muted here, gave me an opportunity to slow down and reflect. And this is what I found on the other side of reflection. Winter in Alaska is really a way of life. It is freezing cold, roads are covered in ice, and days are short and feel more like a constant sunset. Life is slow, and the darkness will suck you into depression if you don't fight it. And I've been trying to understand, so what's the attraction? It's snowing! Okay, it's very cold. It's snowing. Now we are off to meet Nita Rae, and she runs Sirius Sled Dogs. It's a non-profit organization, so she basically rescues these dogs, and she trains them, and she takes care of them, and then of course she rides them. And dog sledding is as Alaskan as it gets, and they have been riding dogs, gosh, for thousands of years. And then of course during gold rush, that was basically the mode of transportation. And very interesting story. In 1925, there was a diphtheria outbreak, and there was a village of Nome that was 700 miles away, and the only way to get there was by using dogs, and people rode dogs to take medication to the village. Nita moved to Alaska from North Carolina in 2008. She came here that summer to camp and hike, and met here legendary Mary Shields, the first female who finished 1,000-mile dog mushing race in Alaska. Mary Shields invited her to come back in winter to learn mushing, so she did. And she could never let go of Alaska since. She sold everything and moved. And I am here to learn about Nita, dogs, mushing, and Alaska. So you participated in dog mushing competition?
No, we don't. I've never done any.
You've never done it?
I've done fun races, but not any competitive races. I don't have a competitive bone in my body. I go because the dogs love to go and I love to go. So that's the only reason we mush, right? We go for fun. Hey, Burl, Payson, you pups want to come say hello?
Alrighty, you guys. Oh my gosh!
So I live in a big dog house, as you can see.
Oh my God, and they all live, they can come in and out of house?
About 15 of them. I don't have room for quite everybody in there. All right, I'm gonna grab some harnesses and I'll be back.
What were you doing back in North Carolina?
I was a commercial landscape contractor.
Oh geez, that's quite different.
Quite different.
Yeah, how long have you been doing that?
I'd been doing that for 25 years. I've been wanting to move up here for a couple of years, but I had the business and had life down there, and you know how all your possessions kind of weigh you down. And so I've been thinking about, okay, how can I get out of this? How can I sell the real estate? How can I find, you know, good managers for my customers that I was going to be leaving? And then I was up here visiting Mary, and I got a phone call from my daughter, and she said, Mom, the house burned down. I was like, I don't have anything to move. I can just move to Alaska. So I didn't have to worry about what to do with all those possessions that weigh you down, that you collect over your lifetime. And sure, I lost some, you know, lots of things that have sentimental value, but no one was home, no one got hurt.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, got on the road.
Did Alaska change since then?
Climate has changed a lot, but aside from that, it's still Alaska.
Lifestyle is still Alaska.
Yep.
Alaskan nature in winter has a special relationship with humans. If you live in a city, it is the same as any cold city. What makes Alaska different and so attractive to some is that if you go beyond the city lines, you get immersed into the true wild. And if you get deeper in, you see the land untouched by humans, almost primordial. The nature here is so dominant, it reminds you of your true place in the world. Mortal, vulnerable, and honestly, irrelevant. For sure, it makes you feel grounded.
One of the things that really got my attention when I was coming here on vacations, especially in Fairbanks, it's really a small town feel, and community is very important here, and neighbors are very important. Everybody's independent, but if you need something, you know,
Everybody's there for you.
everybody's there for you. There's nowhere else like this that I know of in the United States, and Alaska will kind of ruin you for living anywhere else.
Yeah.
It does me anyway. When I go visit my family or go outside for whatever reason, by the time I've spent 10 minutes in the airport, I'm ready to come back home. The quiet, the solitude, the outdoors, just the beauty of the landscape. And for me, I couldn't live without the dogs. This
Yeah.
is my family now. I know I've still got my daughter, my grandkids, and my son-in-law, my parents and everything. But day to day, this is my family.
You do ride like for a few days, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Is it really hard? I mean, it's got to be hard.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
not hard. Well, it's just what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got your dogs trained and you have everything you need, it's not hard. Unless you get into bad
what
weather.
makes it amazing?
Because you're out away from everything and everybody
world.
with your dogs in the wilderness. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't get any better than that for a lot of people.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
mean, and most
that.
mushers, that's what they
That's
want.
what they
It's-
want.
It's an escape. So.
And an escape it is. It is you, the dogs, your loyal partners, and nature. You're vulnerable, a humble human at the mercy of the wild. You just are. And it is an incredibly freeing and addictive feeling.
It's amazing!
You want to meet the crew?
Yeah.
So this is Owen and Ayriyan, and their brother and sister. They were 2 years old in November. So this will be their first full season in harness. So they're still learning a lot of things, like Owen lunges when we
Yeah.
stop. That's something he's got to learn not to do. We don't allow that. So he was getting that figured out though. His sister Ayriyan is a lot more, maybe smarter. She listens better. Ayriyan, she doesn't. Hey, sweet girl. We think he's 4 or 5 years old. So he's looking for a recreational home, somebody who has 3 or 4 dogs, or ski tours with 1 or 2 dogs. So we'll find him a home. Right, Smithers? Smithers!
He's obviously
Yeah.
ready to go.
Moon Baby and Shambara. Moon is 9, Shambara is 3, and they're cousins. And then we have Stiggy here and Alaskan. Tal is intact, which is why he keeps sniffing everybody. But he's just turned 2, so he's learning to lead with Stig. Right, puppies? Boy, it's my tally monster. That's my tally monster.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was fun, huh? You know, there's actually so many transplants in Alaska. I think that strangely, or maybe not so strangely, you know, humans don't belong in the wild, really. We have our own wild, I guess. But there's some people who have such a incredible desire, the need of being part of that other wilderness and being alone in untouched nature and connect. And that's where they feel the best. And it is so incredible how human relationship in Alaska matters. Okay, it matters everywhere. It is just here, the environment is so tough, you have no choice. And being there for others and trusting that others will be there for you is a way of life. everywhere else, not having an actual need, we don't value each other like that. But we should know better. It makes us kinder. It gives us energy. We don't realize how human connection and smiles give us energy, fires up our human souls. And again, we can't control time and progression, and that's fine, but we can control how we react to it and how we use it. And as cold as Alaska is, here is where human connection is the warmest.